When you did finally find out that it was King Von who died, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn. If Brian did that stupid last night, he still would have been alive.
Ever since King Von's death, LulTim hasn't stopped speaking out, but now it seems like he's taking things even further. Word is the rapper just leaked exclusive footage related to King Von's murder, with so many questions still surrounding. What happened that night in Atlanta? This new leak could change everything. Let's break it all down. The night of the shooting. Let's go back to what happened outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in the early hours of November 6th, 2020. Rising Chicago. Drill rapper King Von, real name Davon Bennett, was involved in a violent altercation that turned deadly. He was only 26 at the time and had just released his debut album, Welcome to O Block, a week earlier. Reports say he was celebrating at an album release party. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and Atlanta police, the incident started around 3:20 a.m. in the parking lot, when King Von's crew and Quando Rondo's entourage, led by Taki and Bowman, got into an argument. Things quickly got physical and soon guns were drawn. 6 people were shot in total, and 3 of them died, including King Von. Another person who died was identified as 34-year-old Mark Blakely. The scene was total chaos, with multiple people firing weapons, including 2 off-duty Atlanta police officers working security at the club. Surveillance footage that later went viral shows the moment King Von approached Quando Rondo and started throwing punches. Things escalated fast. That's when a man later identified as Timothy LulTim leaks a 22-year-old from Quando's crew allegedly pulled out a gun and started firing. Police say 2 off-duty officers and 1 on-duty cop nearby tried to break things up. They also fired their weapons, which made it even harder to know who hit who. King Von was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but didn't make it. According to the Fulton County Medical Examiner, he was shot multiple times, injuries to his torso, right hand and head. The fatal shot reportedly entered through his right eye and exited the back of his skull. Just 1 day later, on November 7, 2020, Atlanta police announced they had arrested LulTim and charged him with felony murder in connection to King Von's death. At the time, LulTim was still in the hospital recovering from gunshot wounds he got during the same incident. He was hit twice, once in the hip and once in the buttocks. In a recent interview, LulTim talked about what happened that night and how he was arrested while still lying in a hospital bed.
Okay, so you're in the hospital, you were shot yourself, and then you actually get arrested for the shooting?
Right. Like a couple days later in the hospital, they come chain me to the bed.
Okay, so now you're chained to the bed, you're shot, 2 bullet holes in you. And what are they charging you with at that time?
They don't even tell me what I'm charged with.
LulTim later found out just how serious the charges were when they transferred him to Fulton County.
Coming there, I see the handcuffs. I'm like, oh, I know what he finna do. He like, what did he say? He say something like, you're not charged. He said, you just detained right now. You just detained right now, but you're not charged. He said something like that, but in my head, I already knew what was going on. So I was like, yeah, all right. Like, whatever.
Despite the heavy charge, Lim said his lawyer put some hope in his ear that he might be able to beat the case on self-defense.
You got this, and this. This a high-profile case. He like, it's beatable, though. He was like, I watched the video. You could get self-defense off this, and that. So he telling me that, this, and that. I'm like, all right, like, he telling me good news about it. And me knowing how it happened and how it went down, I'm like, yeah, I really could get self-defense.
Right after the shooting, no one really knew what happened or who was to blame. Different stories started spreading and people had their own versions of the truth. Some even claimed that King Von wasn't killed by LulTim, but by police bullets. One of the loudest voices pushing that theory was King Von's ex-Asian doll, also known as Asian DeBrat. In tweets she later deleted, she said the police told her, "Tim ain't kill him, the police did," suggesting it was the cops, not LulTim, who shot Von. Adding to the confusion were rumors about Von's sister Kayla B. and what she did that night. According to Bo, Von's cousin Kayla said she turned off her phone after hearing about the shooting instead of rushing to the hospital. Bo questioned this move, saying, "I don't notice a lot of stuff until later when it starts making sense. I'm like, damn, that don't make sense. Why would you turn your phone off? Why wouldn't you want to know if your brother's okay? Why wouldn't you go to the hospital with your brother?" Her behavior had fans and even some family members giving her the side eye. As more time passed, new details about the shooting started to come out. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, took over the case because police officers were involved. They confirmed 2 deaths and 6 people injured by gunfire, including LulTim. LulTim was booked and stayed in Fulton County Jail until March 27, 2021, when he posted a $100,000 bond that surprised many. People Since Murder usually doesn't allow bond in Georgia, but his lawyer, Noah Pines, convinced the court to let him out. While out on bond, LulTim kept a relatively low profile, though he did release some music. One snippet called "Off the List" had fans speculating it was a reference to the case. Then in October 2022, Tim got into more legal trouble. He was arrested on drug charges in Georgia, including possession of Schedule I and II controlled substances and marijuana. This happened while he was still out on bond, making his legal situation even worse. Meanwhile, tensions between King Von's crew, especially those tied to Lil Durk's OTF, Only the Family, label and Quando Rondo's team stayed high. Lyrics and social media posts from both sides seemed to throw shots, suggesting the beef was still alive. Those tensions eventually led to more drama and legal trouble. Then a major twist shocked the hip-hop world on August 20th, 2023, nearly 3 years after Von's death-all murder. Charges against Timothy LulTim Leaks were dropped. According to his lawyer Noah Pines, the charges were dismissed before the case ever went to trial. The reason? Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. The DA's office apparently believed that LulTim was just defending his friend during the fight. Under Georgia law, a person doesn't have to back down before using deadly force if they believe it's necessary to stop someone from killing or seriously hurting them or someone else. In a statement to 11 Alive, Pines confirmed the case was dismissed but didn't give details about why prosecutors backed off. Legal experts say the chaos that night, so many people shooting, including off-duty cops, made it nearly impossible to prove. Beyond a reasonable doubt that LulTim wasn't acting in self-defense, LulTim later spoke briefly about the charges being dropped in an interview.
Well, you were lucky to a certain degree because you're in Georgia and Georgia has a stand your ground law.
Right.
If this had happened in LA or New York, you wouldn't have been able to, have that law work in your benefit. And unfortunately, the law works both ways. But in your case, it actually helped you because it was proven that you were protecting your friend and you were standing your ground, and ultimately, they had to drop all the charges.
When asked about how Quando Rondo reacted to the news, LulTim shared,
How did Quando react when you finally told him?
I was super happy, but he probably was happier than me. He tried to come through the phone. He like, boy, we finna do this, we finna do that, we finna do this, we finna do that. He making plans for me, I ain't even made for my own self. He like, cuz, we about to get this real money now, all this type of stuff, like, he more happier than me.
Just hours after news broke that the charges against LulTim were dropped, he released a new track called Left a Stain, where he rapped about beating the case. In the music video, he was seen removing his ankle monitor, symbolizing that he was finally free from the legal system. But even though the case was dismissed, it didn't stop the arguments or rumors about what really happened to King Von. In fact, it made the debates even more intense, especially on social media. Fans, friends, and family from both sides kept pushing their own versions of the story. Asian doll Von's ex didn't back down. She continued to claim that it was police bullets, not LulTim's, that killed King Von. After hearing the charges were dropped, she tweeted, "Then, because the police said Tim ain't kill him, the police did," suggesting that's the real reason why Tim was let go. Von's family was upset, especially since they didn't hear directly from the district attorney's office about the case being dropped. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Fans on Twitter, now X, and Reddit reacted strongly, with many saying the justice system failed King Von rather than serving real justice. Some reports even said that Asian doll claimed ballistic. Evidence proved LulTim's bullets didn't match the ones that killed Von, but so far no official reports or court documents have confirmed or denied that claim. To stir the pot, even more controversial figure Charleston White publicly disrespected Von's family. He called LulTim a hero and even bragged about shaking the hand that pulled the trigger. In the months after beating the case, LulTim started speaking more openly about what happened. He did a series of interviews where he shared his side of the story. These interviews weren't actual leaked footage like some clickbait headlines claimed, but they were still revealing. In one of his most direct interviews, LulTim admitted he fired multiple shots at King Von, saying he squeezed the trigger 4 times.
Well, you pull out and you shoot 4 times.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
Oh, the gun jammed?
Yeah.
After the 4th shot?
Probably like the 3rd shot.
LulTim also described how he caught bullets himself during the incident, specifically saying it was the police who shot him.
Okay. But after you start shooting, all hell breaks loose. there were off-duty cops in the area and they start shooting.
Right.
You end up getting shot twice?
Right.
Well, what parts of the body?
I get shot in my right hip bone and I get shot on my ass.
According to LulTim, he managed to keep his cool despite being shot since this wasn't his first time catching a bullet.
Are you more calm about it this time since you've gone through it before?
Yeah, because like the first time I got shot, I didn't even have a panic attack. I was calm. So it's like this time, I knew like, do the same thing, like stay calm and just make sure I get to the hospital.
An interesting detail LulTim revealed was that he didn't even recognize King Von during the altercation.
I didn't know neither one if he was gone or still alive. I just, like I say, I didn't even know it was him. So I didn't even know if he was dead or alive. I just was trying to make sure Quando was good.
He also addressed rumors that were circulating about King Van supposedly using Wando Rondo as a human shield during the fight.
By him getting shot in the back, he probably was like, his body was just locked on to him from holding him. Like, people would think he was trying to take his chain or something like that, but I don't really think it was that. I really just think like, his body was just locked on and he couldn't let go.
Perhaps most surprisingly, LulTim claimed he had no idea about any pre-existing beef between King Von and Quando Rondo when asked about where the conflict might have started, including rumors about NBA Youngboy Asian Doll and Ja Youngboys. Baby mama LulTim insisted these issues were never even discussed in their circle.
That type don't even be on our mind. But like you say though, like he never talked to me about nothing about that situation.
Yeah, listen, unless I hear something different, all these reasons sound stupid and petty.
In October 2024, LulTim announced he was releasing a multi-part documentary series called Book of Timothy. It's produced by BMS Studios, Hoodstar Films, and CTV. According to the promo materials, the documentary promises to reveal new details and evidence related to the case. The trailer includes interviews with LulTim, Quando, Rondo Charleston White, and others. It claims to offer never-before-seen content connected to the incident. The first episode, titled A Mother's Prayer, was made. Available for $5.99, and viewers need a full subscription to watch all 8 episodes. The announcement caused a lot of backlash. Critics, including Asian Doll, accused LulTim of trying to profit off King Von's death. After the trailer dropped Asian, Doll once again said she believed LulTim wasn't the one who killed Von. In response, LulTim posted a cryptic message on X, formerly Twitter, hinting that she must not have seen the video, though he didn't explain which video he meant. While the documentary has been heavily promoted as having exclusive footage, it's important to note that there's no confirmed new video of the actual shooting. Instead, the exclusive content seems to be LulTim's in-depth interviews, and possibly some unseen clips from his life or the aftermath of the shooting. Since King Von's passing, countless conspiracy theories have circulated online. Some people believe the shooting wasn't just a random fight, but a setup. Von's cousin Bo even questioned why Von's security allowed him to get into a fight in the first place.
And he wanted to go back to his B&B, but he at another club, sleep in the car, and somebody wake him up to fight. And as soon as he fight, his security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the f you let him walk over and fight? You ain't even supposed to let him fight.
Another red flag, according to Bo, was that King Von's whip had allegedly been switched from a bulletproof truck to a regular vehicle that night.
Disclosing no names with that one, but somebody told me that he had because I wasn't there. Somebody told me that he had I know his original driver, he African man, he had like a bulletproof truck. All of a sudden, that African man wasn't available.
He speculated this change might have been on purpose.
So basically, if he didn't get out that car and fight, like whoever wanted him to fight, if he ain't got that car and fight, they would have shot him while he was driving because they switched the truck out. They switched the truck out from a bulletproof truck to a regular truck. He's a hot artist. Why would y'all do that? The night of all this.
There have also been rumors, though unconfirmed, that somebody might have paid LulTim to take out King Van. Bo mentioned hearing whispers about this.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard that, you know. So basically, the shit that I heard, I went and just said everything on live. So basically, somebody supposed to have took LulTim some money in 2020 or something like that. And I don't know what it's for, but that's what I heard.
It's important to stress that these are still just allegations without solid evidence backing them up. The official investigation ended with the dismissal of charges against LulTim, suggesting that the authorities viewed the incident as self-defense, rather than a planned hit. The fallout from King Van's death not only fueled the ongoing conflict between F and Wando Rondo's crew, but also led to legal complications for Lil Durk, allegedly stemming from retaliatory actions for Van's killing. The aftermath and ongoing feuds, King Van's murder wasn't the end of the bloodshed, but rather the spark that lit up an ongoing cycle of get back that's continued to claim lives and put people in bracelets. The most significant development in this saga involves Lil Durk, King Van's day one, and mentor, who's now facing serious federal charges allegedly connected to avenging Van's death on October 24, 2024. Lil Durk got snatched up near Miami International Airport on federal charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire. According to the criminal complaint, Durk, real name Dirk Banks, allegedly orchestrated a plot to smoke W. Quando Rondo as payback for King Von the Hit, which went down on August 19, 2022, almost 2 years after Van's murder. Resulted in a shooting at an LA gas station. While Quando Rondo made it out unscathed, his cousin Savaya Lulu Pab Robinson caught a fatal bullet in the attack. Federal prosecutors allege Durk offered money and lucrative music opportunities to anyone who helped take out Wando Rondo. 5 associates of King Von and Lil Durk, Kayvon London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell, Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston also got hit with related charges, including conspiracy and gun charges. Court docs claimed the squad used linked credit cards to pay for flights, rental whips, and hotel rooms. Connected to the plot in December 2024, a judge ordered Lil Durk to stay locked up while waiting for trial, saying he was a flight risk due to his bread and resources. The trial, initially set for January 7, 2025, was pushed back to October 2025, with both the prosecution and defense agreeing the case is so unusual and so complex that they needed more time to get ready. Lil Durk pleaded not guilty to all charges and hired big-time Atlanta attorney Drew Finley, known for repping high-profile clients including former President Donald Trump, in April 2025. His legal team filed to have the indictment tossed, arguing that prosecutors misunderstood evidence, including song lyrics that were written before the shooting ever happened. The case has sparked debate over using rap lyrics as evidence, a practice that's been criticized in other cases too, including Young Thug's Durk's defense, is saying his bars and songs like Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy have been taken out of context and don't prove any criminal intent, making the situation even messier. In February 2025, Lil Pab's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Lil Durk in Cook County Court, holding him responsible for her son catching a stray in the botched hit. As of late April 2025, Lil Durk remains in custody with a bond hearing set for May 8, 2025, according to posts on X and other social media platforms. Throughout the years since King Von got laid to rest, his former shorty Asian doll has consistently maintained that Lul wasn't the one who bodied Van. She's repeatedly claimed that police bullets, not LulTims, were what took Von out in October 2024. After the trailer for LulTim's documentary dropped, Asian Doll renewed these claims in a now-deleted tweet stating that LulTim's bullets didn't match those found in King Von's body. LulTim clapped back cryptically on X, asking Musty didn't. See the video though? He didn't specify which video he was talking about, according to social media reports. Asian Doll went at LulTim for trying to claim a body he didn't drop, and accused him of exploiting Van's death to get his bag up through. His documentary public reaction to these ongoing back and forths has been mixed, with fans of both King Von and Quando Rondo Lim choosing sides on social media. Some of Van's supporters see LulTim's music drops and his documentary as disrespecting Van's memory, while others argue that he beat the case fair and square and has every right to tell his side of the story on Reddit forums like R King Von and R Cheerology. The discussions often dive deep into analyzing the case details and debating all the different narratives. According to a deep dive into these forums, fans are deeply divided, with some accepting the self-defense angle, while others are calling for street justice against LulTim, as one Reddit user reportedly commented he was defending his friend. Judge looked at Van's record and threw the case in the garbage, reflecting the view that LulTim was just doing what the law allows others, were straight-heated, posting comments like, "Man, this is what O-Black wanted," and "Von wanted Lul dead, not locked up. Give it a year and he's going to be dead," showing their desire for get back, despite all the tragedy and controversy surrounding his death. King Von's legacy as an artist keeps growing. His posthumous album Grandson dropped in July 2023 and did numbers showing his fan base is still strong. The album included the video for Don't Miss, which was shot before his passing. Van's unique style of storytelling rap, especially his vivid narratives about life in the trenches of Chicago, has influenced a whole generation of drill artists. Bangers like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O still go hard, showcasing his talent for painting pictures with his words about life in the hood. However, Van's legacy is complicated by allegations about his involvement in violence beyond his music. A controversial 2023 YouTube documentary titled King Von Rap's First Serial Killer by content creator Trap Laura Ross claimed Von was linked to multiple bodies, including that of 17-year-old Gakira Key Barnes in 2014. The documentary caught major heat from Van's family, and fans was temporarily yanked from YouTube and got criticized for factual errors and sensationalism. Van's death has also sparked deeper conversations about violence in hip-hop, particularly in the drill scene where lyrics often reflect and sometimes glorify real street beefs. Some argue that the culture around drill music contributes to endless cycles of violence, while others see it as just keeping it real about the struggles young people face in communities plagued by poverty and limited opportunities. On social media platforms like Reddit, fans have called for real change, with one user reportedly commenting, "Most people in the hood need a therapist and a safe environment not to grab a gun." This shows a growing recognition that addressing the root causes of violence requires more than just individual accountability. If you like this video and wish to see more similar content, click the videos suggesting on